One lap round with all these, yeah? Hey, do you mind him? He runs tomorrow, yeah? Good man. These are all my 2-year-old colts. Some nice horses here, I think. You've definitely picked the right day. Sun is out, the horses are all looking well, and yeah, we've a lot to look forward to.
Johnny Murtagh has won just about everything there is to win as a jockey. High-class races all around the world, derbies, guineas, even a Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. But he's never won a St. Leger. However, as a trainer, he has a real live chance this year with Ottoman Emperor. How's the build-up going so far with the horse?
Yeah, the build-up's going very well. He came out of Goodwood very well. You know, we decided after Goodwood we'd go and give him a shot in the English St. Leger. We don't think he needs a run in between. He's a horse, he's naturally fit. He had been busy all year, so no, we're happy with him. We're looking forward to it, and very exciting.
Tell me a bit as well about the Gordon Stakes. What was the feedback from Ben Cohen afterwards in terms of him getting the trip, the way in which he got the trip that day?
Yeah, well, he's a lazy horse in the race. You know, he's pretty lazy in the run, and he was like that. You know, he turned into straight and he was pushing him along. But as soon as Ben grabbed hold of him, gave him a slap down the shoulder, he quickened up really well. He probably got to the front a little bit sooner than ideal, but it was good for him to see see his reaction to when he got to the front. There was a big crowd there on the day.
Yeah.
That was the first time he's seen a crowd. The noise, the excitement, the buzz. I think it has done him the world of good. Mentally, he's grown up again. So Ben was very positive, and he didn't say he'd definitely get the trip, but the way he races suggests he's a good chance of getting the trip. He might even improve again. The way I'm looking at it is he might even improve again over 1.6 miles. When I started out as an apprentice, I was first jockey at John Ox at 20. I was competing against Mick Kinnan, who was riding for Dermot Weld, and Christy Roach, who was riding for Jim Bulger. So, like, between those two, like, I was 20, cocky young fella. They had a bit more experience than me. I was never intimidated by them, because the Wareham is a great place. You know, we're all kind of friendly in there, but when you get out on the track, it was like, it was a bit different, all right. You learned pretty quick. You learned on your feet, and I got a few harsh lessons riding against them. But I always wanted to compete with them. I always wanted to get upsize them in a finish. I always wanted to test myself, to see how good I was against those two. So they were the two standouts in Ireland at the time. But there was a very strong jockey population in Ireland at the time. Then I went to England. I met Frankie Dettori. He was kind of the same age as me. I rode against him. He was, you know, a little bit special, a bit extra. He had the X factor. You know, when he hits the horses, there's a different noise. You know, on those big days, he's the man. And like, I would have run against Pat Eddery, Walter Swinburne, Steve Cotton.
Inside the final furlong, he says go on Ridgewood Pearl. Ridgewood Pearl by a length and a half to Smolensk. Ridgewood Pearl 2 lengths to Smolensk and wins the Coronation Stakes easily.
And when you start racking up the winners, I think that's what gets you respect. You know what I mean? They know you're serious. They know you're a nice fella. They know you're fair. You're hard, but you're fair. And that's all I ever wanted to do, and that's all they did. You know, they were hard, but they were very fair. And as I said, there was a few steep learning curves, but once you get over that and you get into that, you know, by the time I was 20, 21, 22, 23, I felt I fitted right in. I felt I fitted right in.
It's Yates trying to hold on and make history from Pat's Guy. 150 yards to go, and Yates is not for catching. All class, one of the greatest stayers of all time, one of the greatest training performances of all time. 4 Gold Cups for Yates.
You managed to stay pretty much injury-free all the way through your career, did you? 27 years in the saddle, close enough to it?
Yeah, and I never broke a bone. I broke my collarbone skiing, and that was the only bone I ever broke. But I was lucky. I had a few falls, but I always seemed to come out on the right side of it. And I suppose in the end, there was a few jockeys around getting injured. Like, there was a few jockeys got injured. They're in wheelchairs now. And
yeah.
I just thought to myself, maybe I was lucky. You know, I don't, at this stage of my career, yeah, I've had a great run. I said the signs are there. Maybe, you know, you've been lucky. You've had a great run, and I felt if I started thinking like that, maybe it was time for me to move on to my second career, which is training.
Down the centre, Galileo Chrome, Berkshire Rocco and Santiago. They've got half a furlong left to go in the Ledger. Berkshire Rocco, Galileo Chrome are going to battle it out. Galileo Chrome just wins us at Ledger.
It's a race I never won as a jockey, so I don't think I had many rides in the Ledger. I don't think I was even involved too much, but never won it as a jockey. And Doncaster track is a beautiful track, fair, galloping track, 6 furlong straight. So they do get racing early. It's a long straight, but I think it'll suit them. I think it'll suit them. I don't think there'll be a problem with the track. It's a very fair. Great race, history there on a very fair track. So, Create Belief is on the floor. That's Champs-Élysées. That's Ottoman Emperor there. You'll see his name on the door. He's definitely improved out of all sight this year. He ran in Dundalk first time out and he was very green that day, but he caught the eye coming home nicely. He won his maiden in Cork. I thought he was a nice horse. I thought he could improve, but I didn't see him improving rapidly as he has. But he always had size, he always had scope. You know, he's probably grown up now, he's physically grown up into the size. He was probably a bit of a shell, so he's probably grown up into his size. And as I said, after the last race, I think mentally he's starting to click into gear. So listen, he's rated 110 now. He has to improve again, but I'm hopeful he will.
And you reckon the last race did him the world of good in terms of, do you think he actually liked the crowd?
Well, it was the first time we ever experienced crowds because we haven't had many crowds over here in Ireland, so it was a bit of a shock when I was putting the saddle on him. He was quite frisky and nervous, but when Ben got up on him, he said he settled down great. He was his normal self. But first time for anything, I'm sure, you know, it won't be a shock to him the next time, and he'll be more experienced. Keep him up to it now, Michael. I built my first 20 boxes, the kind of big boxes. I didn't know if it was going to be a breeder or a trainer or what I was going to do. But I started getting a few horses in. I started tipping away with them and got a good feel for it. Then I knew pretty soon. I said, yeah, this is for me. And I'm sure riding for some of the trainers I was riding for, I was probably telling them what to do and telling them where to go. So they'd probably said he was a bloody nightmare to ride for.
Do you think they learned from you?
Well, I don't think they learned from me, but they got fairly off me at times. The way I would now if a jockey started coming back in and telling me what to do. But hey, I got a good feel from it early when I started, and then I kind of knew after about the first 5 or 6 months, you know, doing it with a couple of horses, got a good feel for it. There was times when I was riding, I asked myself, do I like horses? Because I'm on them, I'm trying to get them going quick. You know, I'm pushing them out. But now I really know I love horses. I love being around them. The key is finding out about your horses and knowing their personalities and knowing what they like and what they don't like. And kind of fitting into them rather than having a system and them trying to make them fit into the system, because they all don't fit into the system. So you have to, it's like anybody, you know, it's like managing a team. Some of them like a good rollick and some of them like their arm around them. Horses are no different. It's just, it's getting to know them and find out about them and playing to their strengths then.
Create Belief has stormed in a commanding lead down the grandstand side running rail. They will not catch Create Belief. Look at this, she's 5, 6, 7 lengths clear. Create Belief has hacked up.
You have a very impressive strike rate when it comes to bringing horses over to Britain. What do you look for in a horse to bring over there, and also what do you think is the key to that strike rate?
I think riding in those tracks in England and riding in those big meetings, you know what's required, you know what kind of horses suit, what kind of races or what kind of track. You have to bring your best horses over there. You know, we bring our best horses over there that we think, we're not travelling over there just for a day out. We bring over horses that we think have realistically chance of winning. It doesn't always work out, but thankfully this year we've struck on a few occasions. The people of Doncaster up that side of the country, they love their racing, they're passionate about it, they know about it, and this is their big weekend. You know, this is their big weekend. It's like the Royal Ascots, it's like the Yorks. Doncaster Festival is you know, it's another huge meeting in the English calendar, and it's the last English Classic of the year, so it'll be lovely to get my name on it.
And do you get more nervous now as a trainer than you were as a jockey?
I do, yeah. I do get more nervous now. You know, all the control is gone now when you need it most, but we put the work in at home. I know when the horses turn up in the races, they're in the right race, best jockey riding them, and they're there to do their best. And I think if we can turn them up, or you know, get them there and turn up in the best shape possible, that's our job done. And then you just need a little bit of luck, rub of the green, gaps to open when you need them. But it is still, when you don't really settle down to get in the stalls. You're on edge before it, and just when they get in the stalls, that's when you can relax and hopefully enjoy the race.
How exciting is it for you to be heading to the Ledger? And I mean, what would it mean to win it? To win a classic?
Like I've never ridden the winner of the Doncaster St Ledger. To win a classic is what we're here. That's what we're doing every day. We're working very, very hard behind the scenes to get these kind of horses to run in those races. Huge excitement to have a runner in the race, and it would mean a lot to me, to my family, and all the team here to win a classic in England.